So, Virgil Van Dijk, 95 rated, arguably the best centre-back in the game. Intercept, anticipate, aerial fortress with a 4-star weak foot. He's 6'4". He's got stats that are on a new level. They obviously put Van Dijk as the best centre-back. We obviously did start off very, very shaky with him. In terms of a gold, I don't think they got it right. The agility balance was off. They clearly knew exactly what they were doing, releasing the captain's version. 10 extra on that agility balance, going from 54-50 to 70-70. They knew exactly where they were going with that. The anticipate still rocks. He's coming in at 10.2 million. Now, arguably, in terms of this season specifically, definitely not the Virgil we're used to. He's got some cracks. I mean, he's getting slightly older, like what, 91? So, what is he, 34? Yeah, about 34, 35. So, I mean, in terms of a centre-back, he's still definitely got a few years left. But in general, this version is that next level. We know Virgil as a team of the year has had some monstrous cards. Playstyle wise, we're looking pretty good. Jockey on the normal, we got a pinged pass, a long ball, precision header, and a bit of bruiser as well. I think playstyle wise, we're looking decent. The playstyle plus is phenomenal. Aerial fortress, always nice for the heading. Anticipate, brilliant. And intercept this year has been one of my more favored playstyle pluses. That mixed in with maybe like a block or a bruiser plus would be brilliant. You could argue, you could throw a rapid or a quick step in there as well. I think that's kind of like the footies end game level for a Virgil. Like realistically, if you're looking back in footies last year and looking at the 5 playstyle pluses, I think you'd probably go rapid, intercept, anticipate, aerial, and then probably between jockey, block, and bruiser for a defensive. Or you go like a pinged pass or a tiki-taka to add a little bit of passing to his game. Roles-wise, we're plus on everything bar from the wide back, which I'm absolutely comfortable with. And in terms of the team of the year centre-backs, the closest comparison we're going to have is a Saliba at 3.6. I think Saliba's fantastic, but they've definitely knocked them down to make Virgil look even better. You look at the female team of the year centre-backs, you've obviously got Bright, fantastic centre-back in her own, but definitely not on the Virgil level. And even Williamson, very much like Saliba, giving her everything, bar from then just giving her a long ball pass, which I just don't think really gives me that Virgil vibe. So Virgil's going to be one of the best in here. I'm interested to see what sort of level he really does come in at, but you manage to get him, you've got arguably the best centre-back. The only other one, in fact, that could come quite close right now is going to be the brand new Maldini. Intercept, anticipate. Stats-wise, again, going up there, toe-to-toe with Virgil. You're looking at the pace, 88 versus the 87. Defending, you've got 95 on Virgil, 97 on Maldini. Physicality is where Virgil does really bring home, from 94 to 87. And dribbling is the same, bar from a couple in games, like you're looking at the 92 on the Composure versus the 96. We've got a bit more agility balance on this Virgil compared to Maldini, so he's definitely up there. I'd say number one, in my opinion. He's definitely gone back to best. Let's jump in, see what he's all about, and hopefully get a good performance from him. So then back to best with Van Dijk. He's always been a comfortable centre-back. He's been a centre-back that is the staple of defending. He's kind of, if you remember way back when and looking at the likes of Conte as gold, that is Virgil as a gold to begin with. So it's interesting to finally see a little bit of cracks from the very start, like Van der Ven still coming in as an incredible level. It's going to be very interesting to see when Virgil inevitably doesn't end up in a team of the year, doesn't end up with that next best card, and kind of see where he kind of really shows his colours then, because that's going to be the bit that I'm going to see the most of Virgil, really. He's going to be that player that you are waiting, almost like a CR7 and Messi, where you're just waiting for that big upgrade to really give him that almost that killer instinct as a centre-back, the player that we always know, always love. That is going to be Virgil in a few years. But for right now, I do think he's still going to be up there with the best of them right until the end of the game. Coming in again. He's obviously got the pace you need. Is he going? Ooh, he's going to go for the pass instead. And I do think as well with Virgil, the best thing about him in terms of being a partner of a centre back is he just makes everybody else look phenomenal. Like his ability, because everybody's trying to go away from him specifically, because obviously they just can't get through him. They look to go against him in other ways, and it almost gives you the way that they're going to go every single time. As soon as they work out, you've got a team of the year Virgil there. They ain't going near him. Like that is it. They are pushing as far away from that side, so you can almost have a slightly worse fullback. You can almost have a slightly better kind of other side. That is a little bit cheaper, maybe like we say with like the Van de Ven, just because we know they are just going the other side every single time. Lovely header. Well, that's what I say with the corners sometimes. It's just nice to have somebody with such aerial prowess that you can just constantly whip it into him. He gets the head on. We know full well that you can't really head it straight in from a corner in this game. Like, it just doesn't. I mean, I've done so many headed shots. It would be silly to know that you can't really score a header. We had it all last year, to be honest, as well. Like last year, it's impossible to score volleys. It's impossible to really do anything from the corner other than go short, or you go and you pass it. And having Virgil with that precision, that aerial fortress heading, that is the kind of the mustard of any sort of corner game. So that already mixed in with the players is going to be absolutely massive. Coming in across. I know full well that he's going to look for that pass. He's offside. Is he? No, okay. I mean, he's got very little wiggle room there. We've got the second centre-back coming in. We do play both centre-backs on Defender++, just as an extra little bit there, because obviously you want them just staying in the defensive zone. I've never really bothered too much with like the ball-playing defenders. I just don't think it really works out as much in terms of my defensive ability. I don't know if I was onside there. I think I am, and we managed to win it. And it's funny with certain... Oh, nearly. It's funny with certain players... You kind of like there's always been a weakness. Like, it may not be like massive, some cards more than others, because obviously when you do look at somebody like a Marcelo team of the year, a Kayunde, a Saliba, there's always many things that you could have better. Like there's always, oh, that's poor defending, that's good save by the keeper. There's always things that you can improve. If it's like Virgil, we'll look at a 5-star weak foot. Does it make that much in difference in the game? Probably not. Like realistically, at this point in the game, as a centre-back, 5-star weak foot is not going to totally change the card. It adds a certain element to the card, and that's really about all you'll find from him. Other than that, he's got great pace, which I think you don't really need to ask for too much more. We've been through many footy centre-backs, and yes, they all end up with 90-plus pace at some point. They all end up with 4 or 5 playstyle pluses at some point. Doesn't mean necessarily that that's a great thing. We saw Mbappe with his 99 last year, and to be honest, he had subpar playstyle pluses, which if you looked at like any of the Evos that you could have done, there was so many. Oh, get the defensive. Oh, lovely. If you kind of went with an Evo point of view, there was better out there. You can get the low driven on him, the finesse, the quick step, whereas his 99 just didn't have it. And that's where you can always improve some cards. With this Virgil specifically, looking at this part of the game now, I don't really see the difference you could make other than like being terrible at defending. I mean, some players are just not defensively inclined. That just comes down to a level of skill. Other than that, like, Virgil's got everything you need. The physicality's at that top tier. Defending now at 95, so we're looking at 4 of an upgrade is not going to change a card entirely. It's going to make him slightly, and I mean like stuff that you won't even see in game, slightly better, a little bit more agility balance. Again, minor, absolute minor stuff compared to when you have a real problem of the gold Virgil with absolutely no agility balance. This is probably one of the only players in the game at this point in time that I'm like, I don't see really any problems with this card. Like, he is absolutely number one. Playstyle pluses are on point. Stats are absolutely on point. Everything works in this card. So it's a high honor to have for any sort of card, and you're going to pay a hefty premium for that, because that's kind of the whole point of him. But he'll get cards, like he'll probably end up with a FUT birthday. He always ends up with something, and he'll end up with something before team of the season, which is standard for any sort of Virgil. But for right now, if you was to get this team of the year, I would say he ends up able to play until at the very, well, to be honest, probably the rest of the game. But most definitely, he'll be able to play way into team of the season, probably into footies, and I don't think you'd need that much of an upgrade. Like, I really don't think there'd be much you could add to this card other than literally just maxing out 99s to make him anywhere better. Like, anywhere noticeably better as well. Looking for the header on. Ooh, misses out on the defensive zone there. We get the ball back into Virgil and himself. He's through on goal. Oh, Virgil. That's it. To completely change it out. Shooting needs to be way better. Shooting is awful. 65. What team in a year has 65 shooting? Good. Interceptor, like I say, is one of my favourite Playstyle pluses this year. It just works so well on that defensive unit. So when you do go down the list of centre-backs in general, like obviously Virgil's at the top, Maldini is going to come in second. As much as Thuram 6'4", I think is still more than acceptable for a centre-back. Obviously, if I was to have a Virgil Maldini partnership, or a Virgil Saliba, Maldini Saliba, or Maldini and a Yap Stam, to be fair to him, he's still incredible, even with a single Playstyle plus. You'd probably chuck Thuram on the right back side. Like, same as like Carlos Alberto and him. Both of them can come in centre-back if needed, but realistically, I'm more than happy for them to be on right back as well. Other than that, like as we go down the centre-back list, Van de Ven obviously having an incredible year for Evos, for just in general. We got Williamson, we've obviously got Bright coming up, Puyol, Vidic, both very, very good centre-backs in their own right. Even then, looking at your Cannavaros, going further down for a little Bobby Moore, they're nowhere near the team of the year level, but they're up there that I could put them in and they'll be absolutely fine. Like, I can rock with Saliba, Gold, and Jones at the minute and still be moderately okay. You don't need them. They're just there for the upgrades. And like I say with Virgil, the massive monologue, he's perfect. He's a perfect centre-back. They've crafted him. They've given him an outstanding card. Just like always, you look down the generations of Virgil, and he's always had cards that do well. I would say it's this one, the gold, is the only one in probably 5-10 years that really hasn't picked, like, it's not been the number one. It's just not really sat right with everybody. His team of the seasons, his team of the years have always been brilliant. From his 99 in this, and you can even see like slide tackle, it's irrelevant to some extent. Long ball pass still wasn't, but anticipate block, even a double Playstyle plus was enough to warrant this card being exceptional. We obviously got the last year's one, pinged pass, block, aerial, anticipate, bruiser, stunning. Absolutely stunning. 99s on both, pace is there, dribbling's there, and really when you do look at them in comparison, like we've got the team of the year from last year, block, aerial, intercept, didn't have the anticipate, which last year was massive for him. 87 pace, the exact same, 95 and 94 versus 96 and 95, but a little bit more on that dribbling. And a little bit more on that agility balance. That agility balance is the same as his captain's card. So it does give you kind of like a merit to how good this Virgil truly will be. And to be honest, I do see the price probably stay in a solid amount. Like he'll be fluctuating between like the 8 to 10 mark, and I imagine he will drop down a little bit more. Like even Mbappe, I don't think stayed at 15. Like he's now at 13 and a half. Dembele is now at 6'9". They will come down eventually. It just will take a little bit of time for Virgil, because he's an easy one that, like Mbappe and Dembele, you chuck him in now, you can use him for a considerable amount of time. So if you do have the coins to go and buy Virgil, I'd definitely recommend seeing if he goes a little bit more down whilst everybody is in packs. but I don't see him dropping that much. More than likely, if you paid the 10 million coins, the effort that you get back from him, hopefully, is enough to win that extra game in champs, win that extra rivals, get yourselves into elite, and gives you the more chance of a reward going forward. And I think that's the point in having a solid team, is the extra reward, compared to having a gold Saliba and Jones like myself, like really not a crazy defensive line. What's the difference in me having that unobtainable team? What positions can I get in? Because it's going to give you a slight advantage. You know you've got the triple playstyle plus compared to a lot of people with singles, a lot of people with just a double playstyle plus on 1 or 2 cards at the minute. What advantage does that give you right this second? But overall, he's obviously going to be a 10. He's magnificent. He's just an absolute wall. Let me know down below if you've managed to get anybody, and I'll catch you all for the next one.